that?
I think that's a ghost.
What the fuck? Ghosts don't exist.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 66.
That's 666.
That's very demonic, isn't it? That's satanic.
It's 2 6s without the third 6. Well, 6 is an unlucky number.
You know what, Ryan? If we keep doing this podcast, 10 times the amount of time we've been doing it right now, so in 15 or so years, we'll be at episode 666.
Well, I mean, what is Joe Rogan's podcast on? It's like a number 1,000 something.
Yeah, he's a number 1,000, so that's fucking crazy.
But he does like multiple a week.
Yeah. Can't keep up with that. That's too much work.
I recommend the Joe Rogan podcast. It's a good podcast.
It's pretty good. I've seen some of it.
You also like the I haven't listened to it yet. It's the Brothers Grimsby. What are they called?
Where did you even get that name? My brother and me.
my brother and me. Yeah.
But it's episode 66. It's a special spooky edition. It's a Halloween episode of our podcast.
Which means you can be expecting some frights.
You can expect a jump
scare. Some mites.
Yeah, some mites. Ryan does have mites, so I'm trying to stay on the opposite side of the couch from him.
You can see them crawling under my skin.
I don't want to get
If
that close.
I hold my hand up to the light.
I don't want to get that close to see that.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to catch those. But here we are, guys. As in the regular SuperMega Halloween tradition, we have a very special movie review for you. From a movie Ryan and I went and saw in theaters last night.
Yeah.
I had a wonderful time. You want to tell everyone what movie that was, Ryan?
We went to go see Boo, a Madea Halloween 2.
Almost. Boo 2.
Boo 2.
A Madea Halloween.
Madea.
In the shower this morning, I was thinking about how awful that title is. I'm like, that's the Boo 2?
Boo 2!
Boo 2! A Madea Halloween.
So wait a second. The movie is technically just called Boo 2? Because if it's a Madea movie, then the Madea thing is just like...
It's like a subtitle.
Yeah. So the title of these movies are just Boo and Boo 2?
I guess so. I guess that most people just call it Madea Halloween.
Yeah.
And Madea Halloween, the unnecessary sequel.
Yeah, but to rip the Band-Aid off, it was a fucking miserable experience.
That was
terrible. I honestly... I know if idiots like us keep going to see movies like this, they're going to keep being made.
I was thinking that last night while we were in the middle of the movie. I was thinking like, you know, Ryan?
We said the same thing about the Emoji Movie.
I know.
But this is what we do.
We support these movies and then they get sequels and we're like, how did that get a sequel?
We should see bad movies that have already been released onto like on demand or home video.
Yeah.
Instead of supporting them in theaters. Because this one is like...
This is worse than the first one, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard. They're both just shit.
They're both bad.
They're both just awful
This
films.
one made less sense, though, plot-wise than the first one.
Well, in this one, I noticed a bunch of things during the movie that just, I don't know, it rubbed me the wrong way. For instance, I'll give you just two quick examples. One quick example is that, you know, in the Madea movies, how they have the effect that, you know, Tyler Perry's playing Madea. He's also himself. He is also this old dude.
I don't know his name.
Whatever. He for a period of time he was like the rent-a Eddie Murphy. And so this movie is 100% lazy, and a testament to that would definitely be the fact that they wrote around several scenes. Like they wrote scenes specifically to make it easier in the editing room and the filming process for this to be made. And like I know it's like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do with a movie. But this is like, I'm talking about not the intentional blocking of a scene to keep these two characters separate so it would be easier to film, because the compositing of both the characters on the same screen
right, 'cause they're both
is done very sparingly, I would say. And only in wide shots. You know, they're not trying to pull a fun little effect like the Final Cut Pro King or whatever. So... There's that, and then during the... Oh, sorry, let me just finish. Like, they tell the old guy, like, in the script, he stays in the car. He always stays in the car, so they don't have to do the work of, like, including him in the scenes with, like, Madea and the other characters.
Right. And then, like, she'll stay somewhere and he'll go, so they don't have to show them at the same time.
And also, just what shows the quality is after the movie ends, there's a string of hilarious, funny bloopers. And one of these bloopers is from a scene that was not in the movie.
Yeah.
Which leads us to believe that at the end of the movie, in like before the credits, like this is like before any
they
type
put this stuff before the credits. The moment the movie ends, it starts the blooper.
So it's still technically a part of the movie. So they technically are showing a blooper from a deleted scene.
I guess that's what it was, yeah.
Part of me's wondering if they're like, that blooper was so funny, we have to put it in. But it wasn't. And then the other thought is, maybe the person who edited this movie forgot what was in the movie and was just like, and was just told to get like a bunch of funny clips for bloopers to pad the runtime a bit more, to because this is 2 minutes shorter than the first one, but it felt longer than the first one.
Yeah, on the way to the movie, you were like, good news, Matt. It's only 2 minutes shorter than the first one. And the first one was long as fuck. I just remember being like, oh my God, just end.
But we know why. And I was sitting there, and you and I were hoping that they wouldn't go the same route, because Tyler Perry likes to chew on the setting, not in the good way.
God, yeah.
He likes to stay in certain areas, and again, this wouldn't be a problem if story was being told here, or if the movie was at least somewhat watchable. But all these decisions are made specifically to make a cheaper movie and to make it fast. Like they'll choose the setting so they don't have to go to that many settings. How many settings are in the movie? The police station, Medea's house, outside of the school, and the camp.
Yeah.
What, the 4?
I think that's it.
4 settings?
Pretty sure that's all the settings, yeah.
So, I mean, you'll spend, and the meat of the movie, the boo part, doesn't happen until like an hour into the film. So you're sitting there watching a bunch of, I guess, improv from Tyler Perry.
Yeah, the problem was like those scenes, like every scene was padded with 10 to 15 minutes of just character banter and dialogue that didn't add anything to the plot and was really boring.
And one time during like one of those things, I'm like, the scene should have started here. And this was like 5 minutes into the scene already. Like for example, Madea is walking your dumb, stupid, annoying sounding friend to a porta potty across this bridge. They show them bicker all the way across the bridge, and it's like, I got to pee. It's like, oh, now you gotta pee, child. It's like, oh, I got to pee, Madea got to pee in the porta potty. It's like, whatever Madea says. I should have wrote the dialogue for this movie.
I thought I was sitting next to Tyler Perry for a second.
But so they show that whole bickering across the bridge, and they continue the bicker, and it's the same bickering when they're in front of the porta potty. The same thing. So they're in front of the porta potty now. And it's just like, Madea, gotta go pee. It's like, I gotta go pee, girl. And then,
I feel like I'm watching the movie again.
and I'm like, the movie should have just started when she's opening up the porta potty going, I told you I got to go. Something like that. Like, that would have been quick. It would have cut out.
A good start to the scene,
a start, the beginning of the whole unnecessary portion of that scene. That could have been done with so many of the scenes in this. And again, you feel this is done because they didn't have the content ready. He wrote the script which is heavily dialogue padded and probably padded with a lot of improv they did on set, specifically to just run the movie at a certain runtime so it can get in theaters, I guess.
Yeah, and God, those scenes, there was too much dialogue. I'm sitting there, for instance, like, it just felt like the first movie, because in the first movie, Madea and her friends are sitting in Tyler Perry's living room, and they're having, like, banter. That was, like, the first half of this movie. They're in the same living room, having the same type of banter, and I was just getting these terrible PTSD flashbacks. I'm like, oh, my God.
Because you have to remember, he writes plays, so this is the way he writes.
Yeah.
He writes two characters talking for a long time in a scene, but the difference between... I haven't seen past Tyler Perry movies. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that in past Tyler Perry movies, when two characters are talking, plot is being divulged with some jokes every now and then.
Yeah.
In this one, it's... jokes are being divulged at just this heavy rate, and then every now and then plot will just kind of be sprinkled in.
Yeah, it just kind of like falls out of Tyler Perry's. It's like he's carrying a bunch of groceries, and the groceries are just random pieces of dialogue. But every in the bag of these groceries, he's got like an orange, and that represents a piece of plot. He's got like 3 of those, and he drops his groceries, and those just spill out every now and then.
And another thing from me is I hope Youssef isn't banking on an Oscar nomination for his role in this movie.
I got some bad news for FouseyTube
fans out there.
If he's hoping that he's gonna get an Oscar for his performance, because he's gonna get 2 Oscars for his performance for 2 fantastic movies.
You know, like the thing is, I was watching this movie, and usually when I watch movies, I think and I'm like, Like, what if in some strange universe I was put in this movie and like I could not do this job. I can't act like that. I can't act. But like watching this movie, I'm like, please put me in this movie. I would have fun acting in this because out of all the characters show that all you have to do is she's almost 18, dude, dog, whoa, boom, what?
Ryan's not making that up. That was FouseyTube and his friends in this movie. FouseyTube's performance was so stellar and stunning.
Come on, dog. You're 17. We've been through this.
She's like, I just turned 18. He's like,
whoa. Come on, check the ID. Check the ID. It's like a YouTube sketch.
It really is. It feels like the movie was written by YouTubers.
It feels like I'm surprised Logan Paul didn't show up in this.
He would have been
movie.
perfect with the frat guys at that party.
Or Superwoman, whatever. I'm surprised these types of YouTubers didn't show up more because FouseyTube's in it. I'd expect more YouTube representation.
Well, what I'm confused about
is... We got Bella Thorne in the last movie.
Yeah, absolutely. But what I'm confused about is how did Tyler Perry come to the conclusion that he should use FouseyTube out of everyone on YouTube? He should use him to be a main character in his movie. Where did that even come from? Where did that idea come from?
Maybe Tyler Perry is confusing Martin Luther King with FouseyTube because they're so much similar, as human beings.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that I can think of for you, Matt.
Oh my God. I just don't like... I'm going to bank on the fact that FouseyTube just has a really, really good agent.
Yep.
That he probably pays a shit ton for, and he's like, okay,
I feel like
that, your role in this movie.
And I think that nose ring that he's wearing in the movie is actually his, which also leads me to believe that there's no costume department for this movie, that they just told people dress up in a Halloween gear and then show up to the filming of this movie. It's like they told Youssef, it's like, hey, wear what you want, or maybe they went to Party City and got him a little costume. Just nothing was done of high quality. Like, you can even see in the bloopers, he's just directing it, and, like, you can just imagine him just watching these scenes, just putting a stagnant camera, like, right there with a tripod, or having some poor camera guy stand there for hours as he's filming a Tyler Perry movie.
And he's, like, in the bloopers, you can see he's coming up with, like, lines on the spot for them to say.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, how much of this is scripted? And
he wanted to make sure you knew he came up with that I'll mousse your hair line.
Yeah, I'll braid your hair and mousse it, which I didn't even get that. Can we talk about that actor?
Because it was weird.
The guy,
the discount Vin Diesel, as you said.
I said he was like the rough draft of Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
There's this character, and he plays this girl's dad, and he's this weird looking white dude who's bald, and he looks like, all I could say is
he's a comedian. I know he's a comedian. I think he's definitely like a small little stand-up guy, maybe.
I leaned over to Ryan and I said, is this guy even human? Because the way he acts, it was just so weird. And like he would smile too much, and like his eye movements and his gestures, he'd be like, hey, sweetie.
I'll describe the way I thought of it. It's almost as if he was being yelled direction as he was acting. So it's like, blank, and then he had to blink. It's like he's playing this game with the director.
Oh, he was so weird, and he was creepy, too. Like, something about him was really off-putting.
He didn't come off as a dad. He came off as, like, oh, hey, you and the girls don't want to hang out with me?
Yeah, it was creepy.
He's like, okay, getting an odd vibe off
of
you.
He looked very, the whole Uncanny Valley thing where when scientists and engineers make a robot that's designed to look like a human, it looks a little, like there's something that you could tell it's not a human. It's a little off-putting. That's how he looks.
Yeah.
And if he listens to this podcast, I sincerely apologize. And I'd love to hang out and get lunch.
There's so much shit about this movie. I'm trying to.
The dubbing?
I was about to bring that up. That's exactly what I was about.
Yeah.
The dub, like when a character would say "this fucking sucks" or something, it would go this hecking sucks or something.
They'd say like freaking, or I remember they censored damn with darn sometimes because there were
they censored fuck with hell.
Yeah, there were a lot of swear words in this movie. But every now and then, a swear word would be dubbed with a lesser swear word.
It's super obvious,
like
too.
damn would be changed to darn. And Ryan and I both noticed every time. We're like, why did they do that? My theory is that originally, because it was improv, they realized in the first cut, like, oh shit, there's too many swears in this movie, which means that it's probably going to get rated R because we have too many swear words. Like over, I'm assuming movies probably have a limit, like a number limit of how many swear words.
I know PG-13 has a limit of fucks. I didn't know they had a limit of overall swears. But that does that,
or maybe even for advertiser purposes.
Yeah.
So they were like, all right, well, let's go back through and let's take like
maybe it was
10
all the
or
rape
15.
jokes. Who knows?
There was a lot of rape jokes in this movie. A lot of sexual like harassment stuff. Too much.
The age of 18 is like it's always highlighted. It's like, are you 18? And she'll go, no, I'm 17. You go, oh well.
I was about to feel like a woman.
And then it cuts to the next scene and he's like, damn girl, sure you don't want me. And it's like this older Tyler Perry character, and I get it. Like his character's a gross person, but like for the comedic effect, you're having this old man who he just thinks he's going after a 17-year-old, and you're like, so this character that Tyler Perry's setting up is a potential pedophile?
Willingly.
If you're really wanting to get into it, and I know you're not supposed to because of the movie, but for the people that are real big fans of these characters, this character's a legitimate pedophile.
Yeah, he is.
Like
he would be on the sex offenders registry.
So are like the college students. If you notice, if you noticed in the scene where she shows them the ID to say she's 18, it's like, it could be fake, but I don't care.
Yeah,
it's like as long as it's like every character that's a male almost, besides Tyler Perry himself. I'm not excluding the white dad because God knows.
He said some creepy shit too.
It's just like is a fucking rapist.
Everyone in this movie was like a sexual predator.
Like, let's get this out of the way. There was no actual pedophilia in the movie.
No, there was so much hinting.
It's just the illusion of pedophilia, and the fact that these characters act this way, thinking that the characters are underage, and it's supposed to be this goofy comedy.
Yeah,
it's such a weird, because I picture Tyler Perry as like some Christian dude that makes wholesome films that for some reason make people cry near the end. That like
he's made movies that I've actually enjoyed in the past.
He's made movies with a character that goes, chow, good lord, and it makes people cry. I don't understand it. I've never enjoyed a single Tyler Perry movie. Matt is the counterpoint.
How many
have
you seen?
I've seen the one where Madea pours hot gravy on the cheating guy, or on
grits. She throws hot grits in his face. That's what it is. Yeah,
she does that. So I saw that one. I think I saw Madea goes to jail or some shit back in like youth group, and then these two. So I've seen 4 in total.
This Madea movie, like, this was racy. Not only was it like packed with the theme of like sexual predatory stuff, but there was a lot of sexual jokes, a lot of F words. There were some N words even. I was surprised, like Tyler Perry. Wow. But overall, I mean, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10.
Oh yeah, 100%. But like, serious, I don't go see this movie. We saw it because for the funny goofs. If you expect to go see it,
we saw it so you don't have to.
If you saw it and you're like, this is going to be fun, just like them, it's going to be a funny time with friends and we're going to make fun of this movie. It's just a miserable experience overall. Most of the parts that you're going to be making fun of are just sprinkled throughout the movie because the rest is just miserable banter. Yeah. And at the end of the movie, I was telling Matt, is it even fair to critique this movie? Because it's not made for any artistic integrity. It's not made because the writer thought it was funny or people wanted to actually make this because of the idea or the characters, or this is actually someone's sense of humor. They made it because of money and because they have a fan base, and like they shat this one out in like what, a year? Less than a year?
Yeah, less than a year, because the first one came out a year ago.
And you can tell there's one scene I told you where it sounds like they recorded the audio in a public restroom.
Yeah, it's so echoey, and like it's like they use like a tin can phone to record.
It sounds like they didn't have a boom mic turned on, so they had to use the like B camera audio
from like a camcorder in a public restroom. That's what it sounded like. But if I had to rate it on a number scale, I'd probably give it a 2 out of 10.
Yeah,
I'd give it a 2. Yeah.
I think it's the fact that it was so lazy and it was so, I guess, transparent with the way it was doing its bullshit, like writing the characters separate from each other to make it easier for them on set. I'm gonna say just the lowest I can go. Just stay away from this. There are bad movies that are actually good. This is far from that. This is far from enjoyable.
I mean, it was the same when we saw the first one. We were like, that was not even fun as a joke. That was miserable.
First one's a 2 out of 10. Second one's a 1 out of 10.
Okay, yeah.
For me, I cannot recommend this movie to anybody. I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I cannot think how anyone could be enjoying this movie, but I'm proven wrong by the 3 women to the left of us that were laughing hysterically throughout.
Man, it was almost like I had a soundboard of a studio laugh track, and every time someone opened their mouth, I hit a key to play that laugh track. But the best way I could describe this movie, to sum it up, is, you know, when you are exercising, let's say you're running the mile for school, or you're on like a bicycling machine, and you see that there is, let's say your goal is 5 minutes, and you're at 2 minutes, and you're already exhausted, and you're just looking at that timer, and it's slowly ticking up to 5 minutes, and you're like, that's how that movie feels. That feeling put into a movie. That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh my God. And Ryan kept leaning over. He's like, okay, a little over an hour left. Okay, it should be about 30 minutes left. But the worst part was we forgot to factor in
the preview time.
Yeah.
So we actually had 10 to 15 more minutes than we thought.
Yeah, so like you told me you were like only an hour left, and I was like, yes, I'm in like 15, 20 minutes. So you're like, I was wrong. At this point, there's only an hour left. And I was like, no!
It was horrible.
But that's our review of Tyler Perry's Boo 2, a Madea Halloween 2.
Yeah, you could say it was so bad we planned to review it right after the movie, but my spirits were so down after watching it that I could not come in to record this review. I just didn't.
You looked when we walked out of that movie. I turned around and looked at you, and you just you were like rolling your eyes, and you were just like, your hat was crooked.
Like during the movie?
No. When we were walking out of the movie, I looked at you, and you looked like you just watched. You looked as if you just watched some kind of like very disturbing film that just ruined your day. You were like,
because maybe some of these lines would have been funny. I don't know. I'm not paying it. Like, the writing was bad in general, but maybe some of these lines would have been enjoyably entertaining to some aspect. But they have characters that are like, oh, come on, Madea.
That one character?
Come on. And then there's another character that's like, well, I gotta pay Madea. Like, all their characters have these weird fucking voices.
That one character,
they're all like black
Hattie?
Southern stereotypes.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Hattie, was that her name?
Hattie, yeah.
She's the most obnoxious character in cinema history.
I thought like she was way more toned down in the first movie.
Was it the same actress as the first movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They just did her makeup differently to make her look more white.
She was...
At first I thought they were just changing her character for this movie to play a white person because of the makeup they used. Made her look very pale.
Yeah.
But I guess that's because they were doing an old person. I don't know.
She was, every time she opened her mouth, I was like, oh my God, stop it. Just
like,
please stop.
It's funny because the old person is dancing. It's funny because the old person falls down. It's funny because the old person has to pee. It's funny because the old person is jumping up and down and you can see the fake boobies and stomach flopping up and down. It's like, none of this is like, and I'm not saying that it has to be comedy genius, but if you're going to make a comedy and you're going to make a Halloween comedy, at least make it fun. At least make it entertaining. The horror parts were so lazily shot. Like, you know how killer scenes, like when the killer's introduced or whatever in movies, how they have these shots, these creepy kind of like POV shots from the killer sometimes. They at least have a mixture of shots.
Yeah.
In this, it's one stagnant shot. Like, think of the kid getting ice. From one shot, the same place. He grabs the ice. The camera shot jarringly changes position, and he's kind of a little more to the left of the truck than he was before. And then you see the other character. It was a mix. The reason it was so jarring is because it seems like the cameraman only moved 5 steps to the right, and then it cut.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's it.
So, and then the chainsaws go, and the actor who was playing the kid getting ice, he was smiling while he was being attacked.
I noticed that.
So it's like,
I feel like that movie was a lot of like, they'll do the very first take, and then Tyler Perry's like, all right, sure. They're like, do you want to get another one for safety? He's like, I mean, do we need it?
You got a second take of her rushing out of the porta potty though.
That's true.
Remember the bloopers?
He goes, let's get another one.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry, man, I'll say these two things. I think I'll give it credit. I did laugh, I think, twice. I don't remember when I laughed.
Was the grandpa character?
It was always the grandpa character, and I did laugh 2 times, but I don't remember why either time, so that also says something.
I thought one of the blooper lines was like probably one of the actually more clever and funny lines. I can't remember what it was, but I'm like, why wasn't that in the movie?
Yeah.
Why did you keep in all this other stuff?
Yeah, and Tyler Perry, I mean, Gotta give him credit for how successful it is. His net worth is $600 million.
Did you beat the woman that wasn't listening to you?
Yeah.
Like I told you. I'm like, ha ha.
That character is like awful. Oh man, but yeah, Tyler Perry. As long as you're hiring YouTubers for movies, I know we just completely tore apart your newest movie, but if you want to...
No, the only way he can redeem himself with Boo 3 is if he casts us as the antagonists of the film.
Oh my God, Tyler Perry,
So-
you want to do that. Please put us in the movie. Even if we're like, I'll take a background character. I just want to be in a Tyler Perry Madea movie. Please, Tyler Perry, please. If anyone knows Tyler Perry and can get us in contact, I would love to be in the next Madea movie. I don't care what Madea movie it is. Preferably Boo 3.
Boo 3 would
Then I'd have
definitely-
to give a good review on it, Tyler.
Yeah.
That's how you can redeem yourself. Would you say Tyler Perry, as a filmmaker, as a creator,
As a product management specialist.
do you think Tyler Perry could also go as Tyler the Creator? Because he creates so many good movies.
He should. Yeah.
Okay. High
Right,
five. High five. But moving on, it is officially it's SuperMega 2017.
It is. First episode of Luigi's Mansion went out yesterday.
Woo! And we got
So-
a lot of more Halloween stuff coming on my channel.
A lot of more of it.
A lot of more of it. And it is the week of Halloween. And Halloween is actually I've always liked it, but in the last like 2 years, it's honestly quickly become one of my favorite holidays just because of I don't know. I just love I love the feel of Halloween. I like the vibe. It's when the weather starts getting colder unless you live in Los Angeles. Then it was what was it? It was 101 degrees yesterday,
Yeah.
and it's like what the fuck? It's October. Yesterday was October 23rd. It should not be 101 degrees when it's almost November.
Yeah, it's just getting ridiculous. Our AC is always broken, so
Yeah, I woke up sweating this morning because I guess my AC is not working.
yeah.
Last night I was like, oh, it still feels cool. But every time the temperature gets like above 90 degrees in LA, our AC is just like, I'm just not gonna work.
Something tells me that the owner, like the company who owns our building, when it gets up to a certain temperature, they'll turn off like a certain amount, or they'll just turn off the ACs so they can save like money or something.
Yeah, I think what it is, I think everyone turns their AC up, and then that like basically uses up all of the cooling shit and all the power.
You're in
and then it's
California. You just make sure your apartment complex fucking is prepared for hot summers.
Well, I mean, if it's any testament, the company that makes the AC units in our apartment,
at least the ones that are in our apartment. Other apartments have newer ones from a company that I don't think.
same company, just newer ones, but that company doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, okay, sweet.
It's like that company is fully just gone.
You go to try to look at one of their manuals on the website. Their website is down.
Because the company is no longer in operation.
You think they should work with a company that has a good track record, maybe?
Yeah, and didn't go bankrupt because they made shitty ACs.
Yeah.
But I mean, when the AC's working, it's great. But the other 90% of the time, it's either pouring gallons of water onto my floor or blowing out air that's not cold at all.
I just have a pot under my AC, a dedicated pot.
You should submit a service request for that bad boy.
Just we submit so many, nothing happens.
But yeah, I think it's good to have them.
Like
though.
our maintenance guy comes in, he's like, what? The one time he's like, remember not to put candles near the
all
AC
he
unit.
said-
It's like the AC unit's on the fucking ceiling. How do you expect? Am I holding a candle up to our AC unit, going, ha ha? All right, our man's gonna have to come here because I know that candles fuck with AC units apparently.
Also, it was for my specific AC in my room, and I'm like, here, it's not blowing out cold air and it's leaking. And then he leaves a note, and all it says is, don't light candles near the AC unit. That's what's causing this. And I'm like, dude, I have not lit a candle in months in my room.
Is this just like he's going down all the things on his list? Like he's going out like serial maintenance disaster man. Like his arch nemesis is going around fixing things. That's crossed off the list, but next on his list is candles.
You know what I think it is? I think he purposely doesn't want to like fix any of our stuff because I called him gay that one time. Remember when I called him gay by accident?
You're gay. Yeah, I remember.
That's from episode 32 of our podcast, The Maintenance Man Cometh.
Shit, you remember that episode?
Oh, I remember that episode. It was when early one morning, I thought it was Ryan walking into our apartment, and I thought he was doing a goofy voice, and I went, "You're gay! You're gay!" And it was actually our maintenance man here to fix my AC unit, so I just quickly jumped in the shower. And I think he's always remembered that, and it's always stuck with him.
Good old maintenance, man.
I love them. But it is the week of Halloween, and one thing that I so desperately wish I could still do as a 21-year-old man is I wish I could still trick or treat. Yeah, I really do. I love trick or treating, and it makes me sad that I won't ever be able to experience that like joy of going around in a costume and trick or treating again. It's so much fun.
I don't want to go trick or treating again, but I look back at the times I'm like, wow, I am like 20 something now. Like when I think back to my mindset when I used to trick or treat, I'm like, that's my life. This is my life. This is how it is. This is just how life works. And I never really at the time thought it's like, hey, at some point you won't be able to go out and get free candy from strangers.
I know. I remember the last year I ever did it, several houses wouldn't give me candy because they're like,
same with me.
It's like, come on, I'm dressed up in a costume. Just give me some candy.
I think the last time I went was maybe freshman year of high school.
Same. It was freshman or sophomore year for me.
And I went with one of my friends, and we dressed up. Like, I went to Party City and got a goofy little mask and everything. But they're like, but most of the houses were like, how old are you? Does it fucking matter?
I'm trick or treating. Like what? You're not gonna run out of candy, you stupid old woman. The thing is, it's like
isn't it trick or treat? So it's like you either give me a treat or I fuck up your house.
Yeah, I will burn your house down.
I will shit on top of your chimney. I will shit down your
the chimney, and it just like falls straight into the fireplace.
Yeah. Imagine that. Someone has like a fire going on and you're just shitting into the fire. And so they're like, what is that smell?
I could see it's like if it's a tall chimney, it would fall and it would hit with such velocity
That's
that
what
it would
Santa does to the bad households. He gets Rudolph to shit down the chimney.
Like just a reindeer shitting down the chimney.
I cannot wait for Christmas. Christmas is, well, as much as I love Halloween and this season, I absolutely love the Christmas season.
Oh my God,
Even though
same.
I don't celebrate it for religious purposes myself, I still have joy in the holiday season.
It's a very happy time for everyone, really. It's like, it doesn't matter who you are. The holidays, it's just like a time to reflect on the end of the year and share joy with others and see your loved ones. It's a nice time. It's just very nice. You know, you got these cool decorations up and these lights that are pretty, and I love Christmas music. Like, I absolutely.
We need to go get some Christmas vinyl.
Yeah, we do, because we both have record players now. We need to get. You know, I saw a nice Christmas vinyl the other day, and I was like, I'm gonna buy it. And then I was like, you know what? No, I'll wait until it's Christmas time. So I'm not wasting my money now.
I was thinking of getting the, because they have the whole How the Grinch Stole Christmas like TV thing on.
Oh, really?
On a like the audio recording is on vinyl.
That's awesome.
I wouldn't mind listening to that.
The one essential album I have to get is the Vince Guaraldi Trio, the Charlie Brown Christmas album. I've listened to that like every year growing up. The Christmas music from Charlie Brown, it's so good.
We're gonna have to get like Christmas candles.
Gotta get a wreath. We can't put it on our front door, but we could put it on the back side of our front door so we can see it. That'd be nice. Gotta get a Christmas tree this year. I don't really want to get a real Christmas tree. That was a lot of shit to deal with last year.
Yeah, we'll just get some sort of thing.
Those needles, those dropped like crazy. And then like, how long did we have that Christmas tree in our living room?
A month.
Until like February or something.
Well, maybe more, I guess. Yeah.
And they were like, all right, we should throw this away. And then when we threw it out, I got sap all over my hands, and I was like, God dang it!
Try to wash the sap off. It's hard to wash off.
Washing sap off is super hard.
Come on, guys.
Guys, give me your best remedy for washing sap off of your hands and your skin and clothes. Does not want to come out of clothes. I got on my shirt and I was like, man.
I'm excited.
Why are we talking about Christmas on the Halloween podcast?
I don't know, but I'm excited for Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, that comes out, as of the time this podcast comes out, it comes out tomorrow, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Woo!
The 27th.
Damn. That's going to be a good game. You excited?
I hope so, yeah. Did you pre-order it?
I did not.
No.
You think I'll have a hard time finding it?
Probably not as... I don't know if more people are going to buy this or Breath of the Wild. What do you think? Breath of the Wild was pretty hard to come by.
It was a new Zelda game.
But this is a new Mario game, like especially a new big, like kind of sunshiny.
This is like a new Mario game
type Mario.
This one's brand new.
I guess not Galaxy. Galaxy was level based and not open worldy.
Ooh, it's so weird seeing Mario mixed with real life humans.
Well, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna get to dress up Mario and jump around and kill things and hopefully throw fireballs.
throw little balls of fire. Ryan, what's your best scary story you can tell on this podcast?
My best scary...
Because it is episode 66.
Best scary story?
Yeah.
Jeez,
you ever been wrapped up in a cult? You ever been kidnapped by a psychopath?
No. I don't have many scary instances.
I'm trying to think of...
You have ghost stories.
I do. I'm trying to think of something recent, like a recent scary story. You ever seen a ghost?
No, they're not real.
You don't know that?
Have you seen a ghost?
Nope. I don't think so.
Didn't you think you saw an apparition?
I thought I saw something once.
Something with Daniel.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of me.
Like you and Daniel were in the
you were there too.
I was there too, but I was faced away from the wall, and you said you guys saw this.
It was like a 9-foot black shadow-looking person in the dark with little red dot eyes, and my heart was racing that night. That was scary. It was like 3 a.m. in that like old studio warehouse. I did not like that.
Some people really get upset when you say you don't believe in ghosts.
I don't believe in ghosts, but I also, I guess I keep my mind open with it. Like I don't believe in them necessarily, but I don't rule them out 100%. I guess just because it's stuff that it's unknown, so I don't know.
When scientists begin to take ghosts seriously, I'll take them seriously.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
You'd think like, if all these shows could get all this footage of ghosts, and if you could find all this evidence of ghosts so easily, you'd think scientists would be like, "Oh, easy. Let's set up some shit. Let's see what's going on. Oh, it's this type of energy. Let's blah 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 blah." But they're not even trying to figure out anything.
I wonder if scientists have done studies and stuff, but I don't think people, even if like a scientist did do a study and then he like found something, I don't think anyone would take it seriously though. It would just kind of end up in that conspiracy theory corner.
There's like a point in time where you can understand why people would believe in ghosts because there wasn't the internet or like video cameras or cameras, and it's like these things that happen and you don't have explanations for. But now you have so much technology and all these things, and you have all these studies of psychology that kind of go into how you might see things. And a lot of ghost sightings are actually also people who had sleep paralysis.
Oh, that I have had that, and I did see something, but I know it was my sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
But it felt so real. It felt like fully real. So I could totally see how back in the olden times when people didn't have science to explain a lot of shit and they didn't know what sleep paralysis was, you would 100% believe that was like some otherworldly being.
Oh yeah,
because like you wake up and it feels 100% real, and you see like a shadow person like sitting on your chest or like standing over you. Mm-hmm. That shit's terrifying.
And like it's the same deal with UFOs and aliens. Like people who, and of course there's a higher probability of aliens existing. In fact,
I fully believe in aliens and UFOs and shit.
But it's like people who have night terrors or those types of dreams in general. Or what are those? I just said the dreams. What were they
Sleep
called?
paralysis?
Sleep paralysis. A lot of those are people who say, "Oh, I was abducted by an alien." It's like, no, you just had a goofy dream, and you couldn't move in your bed.
You should be like a doctor, and someone comes in for like sleep paralysis or night terrors, but you just had a goofy dream. Get out of here. Go.
I just see all these interviews of people that are so adamant that they've seen a ghost and they got abducted by an alien in a flying saucer, and it's like, I can't tell if these people have told this story so many times that they start to believe it themselves, or they're just kind of cuckoo bananas.
I don't know. I'm much more willing to believe in like aliens and alien abduction stuff. Like I don't throw that stuff out. I can believe that to a degree.
I guess to a degree, but there's no, like, there has to be evidence. Like, I'm not just going to believe something because some farmer on a National Geographic documentary was like, yeah, there was this bright light and I woke up in bed and there was this little gray man and he took me to this ship and they probed me. They wanted to know what the president was doing. And I told them I didn't know what the president was doing. And they said, okay. And I remember there was this alien with red hair and they made me fuck her. And it's like just all this weird shit.
I've heard that exact one, actually.
Well, I mix-mashed a bunch of different
The alien with like
stories.
Red pubes and stuff?
Yeah.
I've heard that. And then she fucked the farmer dude.
And like how, like, he has alien children out there.
And they like abducted him later and showed them to him. Yeah. See that stuff? That's a little kooky.
Like I like those stories because they're fun stories.
Oh, they're very
like,
fun. They're fascinating.
Yeah, they're fun. But anything beyond that, when you start to take it with a credence of holy shit, like if you take it seriously, then you'd have to be like, holy shit, they're gonna come down and they're gonna use their big tractor beam to levitate me up and
see. I used to be scared of that.
Make me have sex with some alien.
When I was in middle school, I would stay up late after everyone went to bed, and I'd watch all these like alien videos.
I was scared too, but I'd scare
myself shitless.
We were young.
That's true. Yeah,
so...
I'm not scared of aliens anymore. Actually, that's not true. When I am camping and I'm out in the woods by myself, I can't help but feel some of that fear I felt when I was younger. That like, oh shit, a light's gonna come out of nowhere and then I'm gonna get abducted. But
I fear like some strange lunatic more than an alien or a ghost. Like if I'm out in the woods, I'm gonna be like, some stranger's gonna come out here and have some sick kicks and just gut all of me and my friends, and it's gonna be this national news.
That'd be fun.
No, it's not even a national news story. Why would that even make someone gutting people in the woods is not a national news story?
No, that's just funny. What about squatches? You scared of squatches?
No.
You believe in squatches?
I want to, but the probability of a squatch actually existing is just about as it's I don't know.
All right.
It's like a leprechaun.
I believe in these things in this order, going from I believe in them the most to the least. Aliens, ghosts, Sasquatch.
Aliens, ghosts, Sasquatch.
I think Sasquatch is at the bottom of the list for me. However, every time I go camping, I'm still scared of Sasquatches, even though I know it's like irrational and dumb. It's like
they'll come to your campsite.
Yeah, dude, like that shit's scary. Like what? In the off chance that they are real, it's like it's gonna come and rip me to
Have you seen Harry and the
shreds.
Hendersons? They're nice.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right.
Have you seen Little Bigfoot?
Little Bigfoot? No,
Little Bigfoot. Some kid movie.
Ooh, I'd like to
with
check
a little
that out.
Bigfoot.
A little Bigfoot. There are certain UFO stories that do baffle me. Like there's a famous one called what was the guy's name? Travis something, where it was a bunch of guys like they were like doing a logging job, and then there was like a huge red light in the woods and saw a thing, and they said their friend got abducted. And then he was missing for like 4 days, and they all took those lie detector tests with the police station and showed that they were all telling the truth. And say what you want about those lie detector tests.
Or they're all crazy and they actually believe what they're saying.
Well, I don't know. How do you get 5 people to all believe like the exact same thing, and the person's missing for 5 days? And then he like reappeared.
What do you mean? You get cults that are hundreds of people to kill themselves.
but I mean like this is like the guy went missing, and this is like all in the same night, and they all gave the same like testimony of what they saw, and then he reappeared later, and all that shit. There's a movie about it.
Was he like, I was abducted?
Yeah.
I was abducted.
Yeah.
Help!
I was abducted. Help me.
Help!
Yeah, but there's a lot of stories that like famous UFO stories that I wouldn't throw away. I guess I could believe them. I don't know. I think it's I like believing in that stuff. I think it's kind of fun.
I think that's where you derive believing out of it from. It's not. I feel like you don't legitimately believe.
No, I do. I
these
really do.
stories.
Some of them I really do.
Why?
It's also fun, but some of them I really do.
But why?
I don't know. Just from what I've read, it seems like there's good evidence for it.
Yeah, but those articles are strictly written to show a bias.
No, I'm not talking about articles. I'm talking about just like Wikipedia and stuff like that.
As you take a sip from, I'm not talking about actual articles. I'm talking about Wikipedia, Ryan. Get your fucking alien knowledge on track, okay? Jesus.
Hey, all I'm saying is I'm
sip
just
from a LaCroix can.
I'm not willing to just throw everything out immediately, I guess. Like I'm not willing to throw out just like all alien stuff. I 100%. Do you believe in aliens though?
I believe that there's a possibility that they exist, but I also believe there is a possibility that we are a mere accident in the universe.
I am 100% in the belief that there is.
Can't say 100%.
That there's other life out there. I'm not talking about the guys in UFOs. I say that because the universe is so big and there are so many planets and galaxies, I think that it is without a doubt there's some form of life out there, whether it's even just like microbes. I say it's like I don't think we're the only place in the universe where it got lucky enough to have life form.
No, of course not, because there's been water on other planets. We found that out from
that's what
Mars.
I'm saying. Like I think
of course there's life out
there's...
there, but like when we're talking about like little organisms.
that's what I'm saying.
But
I'm
in
saying
terms
just
of a
life out there.
civilization, it's hard to say.
I'd say there probably is. I'd say the odds are...
the odds are great that there is, but at the same time, you also have to think, there is that small chance, that small probability that we are also alone in the universe.
Yeah, I personally think that possibility is so microscopic, though. I feel comfortable saying 100% that there is life out there.
I feel like the 100% part is a little disingenuous.
Why?
Because you can't be 100%. Like for instance, like I don't believe in a God, but I can't say that a God isn't I can't be like God is 100% not real.
Okay, then I'll say 99.999%.
There we go.
That there's life out there.
I like that. That's better.
I'm glad I could satisfy you.
I like that, except for when teacher. You're welcome. That's why you are here. Get with it. I think the whole 199% thing is all fine up until a teacher's like, well, technically a student can never do perfect on a paper.
Yeah, it's like
fuck off.
Shut up.
You're not my math teacher.
It's like, yes, a student can do pretty perfect on a paper. I remember like
stupid. Like they'd give out 90. They'd always 99.9. Sorry.
It's like no, give me 100. Like what is that point? Like why? What is that 0.01 for? What did I do wrong?
There's always the probability that you were wrong, but I got every answer right. No, I think most of those scores were on essays and shit.
Yeah, it was always essays. It's like, it's stupid. Oh my God. I remember one time on a Scantron, I filled all the answers one row off.
I've done that before.
But otherwise, I would have gotten like a great score, and the teacher wouldn't
let you redo it. No. Even though Scantrons are the easiest form of grading, you literally put them into the machine. And I've heard teachers describe them because there's this test that everyone took, and everyone did bad on it in my class. And the teacher described it as gunshots going off because the Scantron puts that pink mark on the thing, so it was like
oh my God, there was no worse feeling to get like a scan. Okay, when a teacher was handing out tests in high school, like back,
you could see all the pink on everyone else.
Yeah, that. But when it was like a bigger test, and then they would just come and put yours on your desk, but they put it up like face down. I was oh shit, I know what that means. It's face down. You pick it up, it's like a 52, and I'm like, fuck.
What always got me like kind of not feeling the education system is it's still my fault because I did poorly, but it's like when I felt like I really studied and I really nailed this test and I felt so confident, and then it came back with like a C.
I know, it's
and
like, God.
I told my parents I was super
feeling good
proud about this.
That was the worst, when you thought you did really well and you get it back and you did horribly. That always happened to me in like social studies and stuff.
But there are those rare instances where you have not studied at all and you're just like, what the fuck? And you guess on most of these answers, but you end up getting like a B.
Yeah, that happened to me once. I still remember it specifically. We got in class and they're like, all right, it's time for the test on the reading, which I didn't even know there was a reading, and it was a multiple choice test. And I didn't even know the title of the thing that we were supposed to have read. And I was like, fuck. So I guessed on the whole thing and I got a 92.
92.
That's the only time that's ever happened in my life.
Really?
I was like so full of excitement when I got that back. I was like, what the fuck?
That's awesome.
It was like a short test. It was like no more than 20 questions. But the fact that I somehow got a 92 on bullshitting it, I don't know how that happened. It never happened again. Every time that happened in the future, I got like a 30.
My favorite thing to do, because it just felt good, was like when you had a project, you go home, work on a project for a week, except there would be these, think of it as a video game. You get these side missions that you get bonuses on. So you could get over 100. Ooh. Or like, those 10 extra points that you earned, you got a 70. But it bumped you up to an 80, so you feel a little better.
I remember
or you
that.
got like a 75, which is a D.
A D in South Carolina,
and then it bumps it up to an 85, which is a B.
Yeah, oh my God. Growing up, I know it varies state to state, but the grading system was so stupid.
It was 93 to 100 is an A, 92 to 85 is a B, 84 to 76.
77 was a D, I remember.
Okay.
So
78 was a C.
Yeah. And then 69 and below was an F. And it's like, that's kind of dumb, because if you think about it, it's like 69, it's not a good test score, but still, if you know 69% out of 100, that's still a lot. That's almost 7/10.
It's still a majority
out of the knowledge, but that's an F.
But also in college, did it change to
It does.
90 to 100,
Yeah.
80 to or 8? Would it be 80?
It went by
to,
tens, so it was like 90 and above was an A. Above in 80 to 90 was a B.
80 to 89 was
Yeah.
a B.
70 to 79 was a C, like that. Which
Yeah.
I like that way more.
Even though that's a 9-point change in grade,
Yeah.
but it still lowered.
Yeah.
So, I also liked it when there was a smart student in the class and they did poorly. Then you found out that everyone did poorly, so the teacher had to give everyone
A curve.
like a curve. Like I loved that. I was like, yes.
Oh my God.
Curves
yeah.
were great.
The worst thing was when the entire class, I remember this happening several times, the entire class was just everyone failed it. Like 90-something% of the class, like D's and low C's. But then there's one student that got an A. So the teacher was like, no, I'm not giving a curve because if this student they were like, because one or two students did so well, it shows that clearly the subject was taught and people didn't study enough. It's like maybe that person just went above and beyond to teach themselves because they were terrified they were going to fail because you didn't do a good job teaching it. There are a lot of shitty teachers in schools.
Yeah, but there are also a lot of really dedicated and good teachers.
Oh, absolutely.
That stay like after hours. Like there were some teachers that went to my school that I knew because I worked with broadcast journalism. So like I wasn't cool with most of the teachers, but there were some teachers that I was more cool with, like the media arts teachers and stuff like that.
The thing you have to give teachers credit for is that teachers are paid like salaried. So I guess they're only paid for the school day, but most teachers have to stay hours after the school day and get there early and
get there early before the school day starts.
Do all that work after school, do conferences outside of school, and grade all that shit outside of school. That's all work that they're not getting paid for. You know?
I'm not trying to call out any teachers, but I saw teachers giving students shit for doing their homework like right before class, and that was a bad thing. Like there's a due date. Just get it in by like when it's due. You can do it before class. There's nothing wrong with that. Like you might get a worse grade on the homework, but whatever. But then like I'd see some teachers in the morning, like that same teacher would be grading tests they were handing out or something later that day.
Yeah.
And it's like you wait to the last minute too, and I understand that you may have more work than the students. But you also have to realize that like a deadline's a deadline. Don't come up with your own biases because it feels like the teachers start putting in their own personal bias. It's like they're personally annoyed that you waited until now to do the homework. They don't actually care.
Yeah. I think that sometimes I did my homework.
I did mine on the bus sometimes.
I did mine in class. Like the class it was due, it's like, all right,
I'd
pick it up in like
through,
5 minutes and I'd copy someone else's. But like I remember in college turning in assignments online at like 11:58 p.m. that was due at midnight.
Yep.
Because I'd be like, fuck, I forgot. So I remember I think everyone does that in college unless you're like a straight A student.
College was an interesting experience. I will say that it was. I'm sad because I didn't get to experience the full like force of it. I guess.
Same. I mean, I
only
got 1
stayed
year
until
of it.
sophomore year.
Yeah, I left it after I finished freshman year. R.I.P.
Yeah.
I miss it, but I'm happy. I like what I'm doing out here. I like doing SuperMega. So
Oh yeah.
it all works out. It's good stuff.
All of our friends are moving on, Matt. They're getting jobs.
We're moving on too.
I was just thinking last night, and it was just this weird feeling. I was like, there's so many, like, if I tried to get into, let's say, a relationship with a girl, you know?
Yeah.
If you're in this situation and you're trying to, like, get a girlfriend or something, and then that girl, after, like, the first date can, like, she's going to ask, like, what do you do? You're like, YouTube. Oh, that's cool. What do you do? You know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
They're going to eventually get it out of you what you do and what your channel name is, probably.
Yeah.
They're going to go look up your shit and think
I
of
know,
all
and
the
it's
stuff we've
embarrassing.
said. And
I know.
it's like that's not a good first impression. That robs us of us swindling them later on in the relationship with this bullshit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, no one forced us to put all this shit out there. So
No,
I guess
no,
it is
no.
on us, but
No, but I'm saying this is a fault like that I'm noticing with like, holy shit, I say all these things.
I know, and then I'm like, wow, when I meet someone, like even like a distant family member, and they go check out my channel, I'm like, uh-oh, don't do that.
I
please.
know.
I remember like one of my family members that I talk to like once every 2 years was like, what's your YouTube channel? And I was like, oh, good Lord. Good Lord, no. Because they were with my grandma, and I was like, please don't show this to my grandma. Oh, no.
I mostly just say I work online, and if I ever have to say it, I just say I work for Game Grumps.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm embarrassed of SuperMega. It's just like I don't want
first impressions to be this channel where we're making like dick jokes and saying all this stuff.
Someone that I'm getting to know has this catalog of days of just instances of me talking and getting like they could get to know me essentially through some aspects of podcasts and stuff. I can't get to know them just as fast. I have to take my time and ask them questions and get to know them. They can go straight to YouTube and hear a bunch of conversations that I've had.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I just figured like it's gonna be harder in the future when it comes to like
meeting people.
Yeah.
I've thought about that before too. But, at the end of the day, I still like doing SuperMega.
Oh, I love it.
I
love doing this shit.
Even if it hinders my ability to form relationships with human beings on a personal level, that's fine.
I love doing this shit, and I'm super grateful to everyone who actually supports us because...
Absolutely, oh my God.
Like, while we don't have this foaming at the teeth fan base like a Paul bro, we still have a really dedicated fan base that is really cool.
Really supportive and just filled with some really cool people.
Everyone's welcome, and I'm glad that I see a bunch of different types of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Enjoying the channel.
But yeah, seriously, we just want to say thank you to all of you who watch us, who support us, who share us around, who buy the merch. Just thank you guys so much. It really does mean a lot that there's people out there that actually like what we do. And you guys are what keep us going to keep doing this. So thank you so much. And it's with that, I think it's a good point to end this episode 66 spooky podcast. What do you say, Ryan? You want to go trick or treating? Oh fuck! God damn it!
Yeah,
you really scared me with that one.
Got it.
You probably scared everyone else too. Look at that audio. Look at you peek at the microphone right there.
Bye guys. Happy Halloween.